Hi, I'm Howie Long. I'm a bit of an expert on action. But nothing in my pro football career prepared me for this kind of action. In the next half hour, I'll take you on a journey behind the scenes of Broken Arrow. We'll look at the stunts, the special effects, and meet my co-stars John Travolta and Christian Slater.
I've never had an opportunity to play a real classic bad guy.
He's certainly the most heroic guy I've ever played and the most daring and adventurous.
By now, I'm sure you figured out Broken Arrow is not a Western, but you might still be wondering what the movie is about. Well, let's find out from the cast and crew.
I'd describe it as a very exciting movie about a couple of guys that were partners and were friends.
How's your head?
It's all right, I'll be fine.
I'm sorry about that.
Don't worry about it, I'll get you back.
Ah, now you're dreaming.
One of them decides he chooses a different path. You know, these exercises are fantastic. When the day comes that we have to go to war against Utah, we're really going to kick ass, you know?
The scheme he's come up with is that one evening while they're flying the B-3 bomber,
On your command, Major. Go to war.
he has decided that he will crash land it.
What the hell are you doing?
Take one of the nuclear weapons, or in this case, two of them.
I'm punching out!
And blackmail the government for $250 million.
Clyde, I'm standing here looking at half the valley, and there's nothing going.
She really doesn't know what's going on, you know. She's completely terrified.
I want to know what's going on, and I want to know right now.
We were carrying nuclear weapons on our plane last night. My former commander is trying to steal them.
They send in a search and rescue group to try to resolve the problem, and it escalates from there.
We got ourselves a broken arrow.
Broken what?
Broken arrow is a term that the Pentagon uses to refer to a lost or missing nuclear weapon.
I don't know what's scarier. Losing nuclear weapons, or that it happens so often, there's actually a term for it.
I can see the theme of the movie is about a tragic friendship.
Come on, buddy, pick up the phone.
Buddy, huh? Son of a bitch tried to kill me. Friendship is over.
Well, that doesn't mean I don't like you. I think seeing me be a bad guy and Christian kind of tackle me is going to be great fun.
You're out of your mind.
Ain't it cool?
John Travolta is very exciting, wonderful actor. I have enjoyed his work for a long time. I think he's very special.
The hand dressing of Christian Slater. If you move forward over to the cameras, you'll see that
The precision.
the world champion houseball, is hand dressing Christian Slater for the scene with John Travolta, where John Travolta pummels.
I have to put extra padding on my hands because they're lethal. Lethal weapons I have here.
Are they lethal?
Watch
or
out.
is he a liar? Christian's a blast. What you see is what you get. There's no pretenses with Christian. He's funny. He's warm, accessible. He's a very gifted actor. I really, really like Christian. I think he's one of my favorite actors I've met on a personal level.
Who would have known that John Travolta and I would get along so well and work so well together?
I've told you once to take your friends and play outside.
My compassionate co-star, Pan Wright, is very sympathetic to my plight.
He's a big guy. He shouldn't be running into fragile fences.
In Broken Arrow, I had the opportunity to work with internationally acclaimed action director John Woo, a man whose unique style of filmmaking has thrilled audiences all around the world. Let's meet John Woo and take a closer look at the production.
John Woo film has terrific choreographed action. That doesn't appear choreographed. There is chaos, but it is very controlled and very calculated.
Quentin Tarantino introduced me to John Woo's films. I've only seen 3, but I thought that he had a lot of style, and it's really what intrigued me the most about working with John Woo.
Just don't look too soon.
I won't look too soon, I promise you, John.
I came aboard feeling so confident about him and his work.
While you're running, you look back, seeing her following you.
Yeah. I feel very comfortable with the relationship he and I have. I think it's great. I think he's fantastic.
What we tried to do, given the fact that he hadn't done a picture of this scope before, was to surround him with the best money could buy in terms of talent and technicians.
Josh is going to yell my name, and that might get a better look from my eyes.
Yeah,
a little bit of the wind is squinting them, but I'll do my best.
When we were up in Montana, this was one of the wettest summers they've ever had.
Just keep raining every day, and I was so amazed at all the cast and crew, their working spirit. They just didn't care about that, and they worked so hard.
What we're doing right now is securing for weather. You'll see all the crew here battening down the hatches and tarping all their equipment. And normally these storms blow over, so we just stay vigilant and stand by and normally get some pretty good, beautiful shots after the storm.
Our biggest problem was the winds, because we were working with helicopters that were in very close proximity to the train. And whenever you have a strong tailwind, it becomes very difficult and very unsafe to maneuver a helicopter close to another object.
This is a really highly charged sequence, and I think the magic of it is not only do we have the technology, but we have the actors doing a lot of their own stunt work.
It's such a thrill doing these sort of things. At first when we started, I was a little concerned about scenes like working with helicopters and those sort of things, but they've been very good about walking us through stunts and making me feel very comfortable, so that when we do it, it's really just an adrenaline rush. I know that I'm safe.
Action!
It was great.
This is where you two get off.
There's this one scene where Christian Slater falls off the side of the train and then gets dragged underneath the train. It was pretty scary to be under there. It wasn't a very comfortable place to be underneath this huge behemoth when you're about 2 feet from the wheels spinning around. Christian did a great job. We got him under there. We worked our way up to speed. It adds so much validity and credibility to that sequence. It's really amazing.
A lot of moving around for me in this movie. A lot of jumping and diving and being dragged and pulled and tugged.
Action!
And a lot of fighting.
It's been fun, and it's quite a workout, boxing, because you're using almost every part of your body. So within 10 minutes, you can be totally drenched in sweat.
All right, and action. While we were shooting the scene, it was pretty scary, because they are not the real boxers. John and Christian, they work pretty hard, and they practice for weeks, and we have a great trainer.
You see that? That was good.
Yeah.
You see? I spent some time with both of them. learning just basic skills in boxing, throwing some punches. No, the move is
the second punch better.
The move is the jab. Take 2 stabs, 1,
All right,
2.
that's what I'll do.
Right hand.
That's what we'll do. So what? Nobody's gonna know.
Nobody's gonna know. John is very concerned about because he's throwing a lot of punches, very hard, powerful punches. He's concerned that he's going to land one of these punches on Christian, and that's the problem. Is that you never know.
Don't look at my hands. Don't look at my hands. Look at my shoulder. That's where the punch is coming. See? Come on. Action.
Even I got into the action with a stunt of my own.
I'm about to shoot my first scene with Howie, and that will entail my my feet connecting with his chest, really.
Action. And now.
Today I was hooked up to a ratchet machine. They attach a cable to your back, and a stuntman swings in and kicks me with both feet in the chest. And they have 300 pounds of torque, ratchet me through a wall.
Action. And now.
He had some wood stuck in his nose at one point from an explosion. Shrugged it off. He said, "This is easy." Comparatively to what he's been doing, this is a piece of cake.
And now.
There you go. Okay, there you go. God, that was beautiful. That was a good one. That was beautiful.
He does his own stunts. You got evidence.
A little lumber in the back of the head.
Woo! Yeah.
You may recognize this vehicle I've been driving. Along with being every man's dream toy, this 7,000-pound military Jeep is involved in one of the biggest stunts in Broken Arrow. In fact, it's a motion picture first that features Humvees in a high-speed desert chase.
See the one in front there? That one's got the nukes in it.
How do you know?
There's only a driver. They're trying to keep the weight down. Give me your gun again, will you?
What are you gonna do?
I'll think of something.
The first thing we did is we had the 2 stunt doubles jump from high up on top of the moving Humvee. Do you agree?
If anything, we're going to hit and
Yeah.
this.
Right. That's why you have to grab that.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to try to land like this.
It was a timing thing. The double for Christian Slater had to jump first, and the double for Samantha Mathis had to jump second, and it was real tricky.
Today I fell off the back of the Humvee.
Action!
Hale is getting shot at, and he falls backwards over the nuclear bombs that they're concealing and off onto the dirt. And we were probably going about 25, 30 miles an hour.
We're rolling!
You can't practice it, so you have to just kind of plan it out as best as you can and go for it.
Oh, yes.
Joey didn't want to do that twice, huh?
No, not really.
And here's a playback on E.
Oh, that's great. Isn't that beautiful?
Christian has been great and has been doing a lot of his stuff.
Christian, do you have one more in you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, let's do it again while we're here in the setup. Let's go.
All right, one more time.
And we even dragged him behind a car, which blew me right out. He goes, "Yeah, Alan, I want to do it. Let's do it." And we did it, and we dragged him, and it was great. And he hung right in there.
Nice little Humvee jump. We came to the middle, crashed, and came down and went about 30 feet or so.
Will they be airborne there?
They will be airborne. They'll be about here.
Good. Nail it right there. Oh boy, I hit dead center. Okay, right there. Nail it.
If you shoot at a Humvee, you won't blow it up. Shoot at a tire, the tire will inflate itself in a few seconds. So it's almost like it's indestructible.
During this sequence, he makes a bomb, and he throws the bomb at him with a gas can and a flare.
We're putting lead sand in here to protect the original windshield from the concussion of the bomb and the heat.
We're going to caulk around the edges of the windows and the doors and seal it as tight as we can from anything coming around sucking into the vehicle. The passenger compartment will be sealed from the fireball out on the hood.
So when we go rolling action, you know, just like you finished the round, you start to throw it. Move on to Humvee.
Don't even. Stop!
Very, very nice. Rick effects. Very good.
Way to go, Pat.
Very nice.
When your script calls for destroying a $3 billion stealth bomber, the government isn't too anxious to loan you one. So in Broken Arrow, the production utilized models, green screens, and CGI, computer graphic imaging, to create a believable fighter jet.
Every time you see the B-3 fly, that will be a CGI miniature, basically built in the computer in 3D.
With a computer graphic element, we're able to just go ahead and fly it any way we want to. The freedom's great.
Bridge coming up in 6 seconds.
I got it.
John Woo really has a vision of these things, and the shots that he wanted particularly really could only be done through the computer.
I haven't shot any visual special effect before, so this is quite a challenge to me.
Today, basically, we were doing the ejection sequence from the B-3 Stealth, both for John Travolta and for Christian Slater. It's a rig that will pull the ejection seats out of the cockpit very fast and very safely.
One more time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice job.
One more time. Looking.
The real plane is probably 140 feet wingspan and about 80-90 feet in length. The main model that we're dealing with has about 18 feet wingspan. We have done the crash site on location, which was an enormous challenge actually, because you're in the middle of nowhere and you have 2.5 million acres around and you try to create a believable crash look.
The logistics are tremendous in the sense that it's almost as if we're crashing a real B-3. It'll be cable controlled, and a lot of its forward momentum will be supplied by a truck. So it's actually going 40 to 50 miles an hour.
For one of Broken Arrow's most exciting moments, the filmmaker staged a massive train wreck, utilizing state-of-the-art miniatures like these.
What we're doing here is establishing that the train has been separated and that the rear portion of the train, which is unpowered, is on a grade and is gaining speed and is going to catch up with the front part of the train, which has stopped.
Neil and I will handle anything here. Please wait for us to call for help if we need any help. We'll call for it.
All right, green over there.
Green?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I don't think it'll catch from there.
I think we're going to have to open it up.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to light this. There's a chance a couple of charges will go off as it burns.
Heads up.
Okay, we're burning.
Okay, roll cameras.
As the crew readies the explosion, something unexpected occurs. High winds cause a fire to erupt before the train is released. The crew quickly douses the flames, then must rebuild the entire set.
The first initiating switch is this switch you see right here on the coupler. Now what that does, it sets in motion the sequence board that will set off the various explosions.
This is our trunk line to our nail board. It's going to set off all our explosions. We'll run it over here and tie into all our charges we've got. And this is our nail board. We'll run a striker down here, and each nail sets off a different charge as it goes.
And there's a total of like 64 explosions that are going to go off in about a half a second.
The fire blankets are there, the burn kit's there, the first aid kit's there. Great. Does anyone want a face shield? We should have very little flying debris.
This is the heart and soul of the entire operation. And when I push this lever over this way, that train sitting up there is going to take off.
Okay, roll cameras.
Roll cameras.
For the most dangerous stunt of all, my double stuntman Dan Winans did a 200-foot free fall off a bridge from a moving train. I really wanted to do the stunt myself, but that's why I retired from football. I don't do that stuff anymore.
I'll be coming straight off backwards off the center of this bridge over here and basically taking it all the way to the ground backwards.
We had what we call a decelerator. It's a pneumatic device that allows a free fall to a predetermined point, and then a system kicks in that decelerates a person. But the real challenge there was to do it on a moving train. You also have at the end of this trestle, you have these cement embutments. So if you're attached to the train and the train doesn't stop before the end of it, the stunt person can get impaled against the concrete abutment.
Much different view from down here.
You fall about like that. Try not to get head over, you know, so if you don't, you know, you need to push off, but don't push off as much. So you kind of get that nice going away from us like that.
Right.
And then you can, you know, be screaming, you can be doing whatever you want.
They checked the harness out several times, you know, before the stunt and using a dummy, and it worked great.
How many feet per second is he traveling?
Okay. That will fall at 32 feet per second.
You can see behind me we have a Bell Long Ranger, and we're going to use that as our primary medevac bird should anything occur.
Are we close?
Rocco, engine ready to travel. Ready now.
Danny, have a good, safe one, and I'll see you at the bottom, buddy.
We'll back up. I have to get these people off the trestle. Let's start it now.
Did it, and it was great. And then something he did not imagine happened, which was they said, you know, if we could just kind of get a different angle on that, it really would be a great shot. So he did it again, the same day.
When you go in to watch a film like Broken Arrow, you got sucked in by all the action, by all the tension.
I said push forward.
It's going to be a non-stop thrill ride on this movie.
Broken Arrow is the most fun movie I have ever made. You know, and there's a lot of great humor.
not shooting at the thermonuclear weapons.
It just goes and goes and goes and goes.
There's a lot of out-thinking each other, a lot of, mind games.
I figured you'd have packed up and walked off by now.
Yeah, well, you figured wrong. Now I get the nukes. Guess what, Deke? I'm gonna deactivate them.
Let's get them. I think it's a great surprise to anyone who hasn't seen a John Woo movie before.
I don't know what the big deal is. I really don't.
That's it for the making of Broken Arrow. Looks like we got some company. I'm out of here.